Hello, today I'll be showing you how to turn your old 1990s poo brown tan door cards into some awesome black JDM goodness. So yeah, basically the car is still at the paint shop. That's kind of taking its time, so I figured I might as well do something else. And in prepping the car, getting it ready for paint, a lot of the interior items had to come out of the car. So I figured now is a better time than ever to get rid of the poo brown colored interior. If you've watched some of my earlier videos, I have mentioned this before, that is one of the things I really don't like about the Cefiro. I know other people kind of like it, but for me, I can't stand it. Like driving a performance car and having this surrounding you the whole time, it just doesn't feel right to me. It has to be black. So yeah, you can see here, I did one of the door cards. I've actually done the rear ones as well. They came out sweet. So I figured I'd leave this one. This is the passenger side, and I would show you guys how I did it. I guess it would work with most other door cards from other cars. I know S13s and Skylines are a little bit different from this, but Cefiros are actually really good. So basically, this is a door card here, and it comes apart in pieces. This whole panel here actually comes off. This comes off, and of course the speaker cover comes off as well. So I'll be showing you how to do that. And what I've done is I've retrimmed this with I guess I'll say it bride, but I know that the correct way of pronouncing it is bride, which is how the Japanese pronounce it, but I'll just say bride in this video. Yeah, retrimmed that. I've put new padding in there as well and painted up the door card as well. So yeah, I guess the first step you want to do is removing the door card. It's pretty simple, pretty much the same on all other cars. There's a screw in here, and this little handle will pop out. The window controls will pop out. You disconnect them. Then you've got two screws underneath here, and the two screws on this side, and then it's just held in with these little clips, and they'll just pop out. Be careful when you're doing that so you don't break them. Now that we've got it out, we need to take it apart. So you can see here, these screws here will come off, and we'll take off this speaker cover. And yeah, let's do that first. Okay, now that we've got all those pieces out, next what we want to do is removing this panel here. It's pretty easy, basically more tabs in the back here, and then this top part is actually glued, and then you've got this seal part here that seals against the window, and that's actually stapled in. So we need to remove these staples. Next step we have to do is paint this up. I am using a brand called Foliatec to do all this. I didn't want to go with anything cheap for the interior. That's not something I want to go wrong, start peeling or faded after a couple of months. I had a chat to these guys at Oslo Motor Show last year, and this is really good stuff. I highly recommend it. So far everything I've done has come out awesome. It's kind of a three-stage process. So the first thing I'm going to use is a foam cleaner that they do to clean it up with. Next step is a primer, one coat of that, and then our paint. And I've gone for just a matte black, so I didn't want any shiny reflections or anything coming off the interior when I'm driving. So yeah, so first step, let's clean this up. Okay, now that we've cleaned it up, next step is our primer. Okay, so we've got our door card in primer, also the speaker cover and the little map plastic cover thing. So next we're going to be turning our attention to this. This is probably the hardest and longest process with this whole thing. There's a few steps into doing it, and you really want to take your time and you really want to be careful. We're going to be using glues and stuff, so it's easy for stuff to go wrong. So yeah, you just want to make sure that you leave enough time for yourself to do this and avoid any sort of distractions. So yeah, first step is let's remove the old beautiful covering here. It's kind of sad really. It's been there since 1992, but yeah, it's time to go. Yeah, so that's it. We got our old cover off. Almost 30 years of sweat, grease and dirt into this. Has a nice cigarette smell to it as well. This is the other reason I'm doing this too, is because the car has always had a bit of a smell that I've never been able to get rid of. So yeah, that's one good thing about this. Here is this steel panel that goes onto the door card. Pretty cool that we can get this off. It makes it retrimming a lot easier. Problem now is it's got all of the old glue on there and this old foam. That all needs to come off, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all brand new foam down on here and then put our fabric over the top. Also want to remove all this glue from the back here, so it makes it when we use our new glue that it sticks a lot better. So to do that, drill and one of these wire wheels. The best way to remove it I found, so let's do that. Okay, yeah, so basically that's it. It's come out awesome. Use the wire wheel on there, got all that old glue off. That'll make anything we stick to it a lot easier, and that's what we're going to do next. So this is what I have. Some new foam. It's about 6mm thick. Perfect replacement for the old stuff. I found this at just like this arts and crafts store here in town. It's pretty cheap and it'll work perfectly. So our next step, lay this out and just cut out our shape. Okay, so we have our shape cut out, perfectly to fit on this one. So next what we want to do is we just want to glue this on. So to do that, basically I've just got some spray glue here. It works perfectly. This stuff is super strong. As soon as you put it on, it sticks. You can hardly get it off again, so you want to make sure you get it on right. So I use these things, these little alligator paperclip things. I'll be using them a lot through the rest of this process. They are priceless for this little project. So I recommend buying like a little box of these. That you probably need about 20 or so of them. So yeah, I'm just going to hold this up here right in the corner where I need it. Put him on. And then I'll go to the other end. Get that one on there. So then basically it's kind of on at least, and you can spray this and then lay it down without it moving anywhere. Okay, so we got our foam padding on. It's stuck on there all nicely. Made sure we cut out our part for our door handle there. This is just going to make it feel so much better, and we've got rid of that old stuff that probably had that old cigarette smell in it, so put that aside. Next, we turn our attention to this, the bride graduation fabric. I'm using this because it matches the seats in my car. I bought this a long time ago back in Australia. I had planned to use it in my R32, that never happened. But perfect for the Cefiro. I took it back in my suitcase last year when I flew back to Australia. I've got more than enough here to do the door cards and probably a few other parts in the car. So yeah, this stuff, it's not the easiest stuff to use because it doesn't really stretch at all and it's quite thick and hard. It can also stain kind of easily if you get the glue on it, so you want to really be careful and take your time. So yeah, the next step really is we need to cut out the piece that we need to use. We want to make sure we match it perfectly to the driver's side one that we've done, so making sure that we use the same colors and make sure it's on the same angle. That shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, so let's get the scissors out and we'll cut this. Cut my fabric to the approximate size to cover the whole of the panel. This is probably the hardest process of this little project. Basically, we don't want to cut off too much of the text. We want to try and keep it there as much as possible. My OCD would kick in massively if that was the case. And we want to try and match it up to the other driver's side as much as we can. So basically, using the door handle, kind of put that exactly where it is on the other side. And once again, using these little alligator clips, I'm just going to get it as much in place as possible, but leaving one side open. And then what I'll do is I'll cut that and I'll start to glue the other side. Okay, so I've got my little clips on there, just holding it temporarily in place. I've got the top part and the bottom part in. I know it's exactly where the driver's side one is, so that's good. What I'll do is I'll just glue this side part down. So I've got a fair bit of offcut here I need to cut off. And then what I'll do is I'll just cut some small little tabs and glue them individually down. Then we have at least one side glued in to keep it in place. One side drying, another side drying, so two sides. We've still got this bottom bit here, and we also have to do the handle as well. Okay, so we'll let that one dry for a little while. It's looking really good. Perfectly aligned with the driver's door one as well, so awesome, and no sticky fingerprints on it. The first one I did, I had a bunch of glue on my hand and I put my finger right on there and it just ended up staining it, so had to peel that one back and start again. But while that one's waiting, what we might do is this one. So this card actually sits behind, I guess, the map pocket in the front seats of the Cefiro. I thought instead of just painting it black, we might do something special with it. So, what I did on the driver's side door, I've got a bit of an offcut of this. I've got like the darker part of the graduation material, and I'm just going to stick that on there. So, it looks really cool. It kind of looks like the fabric is running all the way down. I'll show you on the driver's side one. See there, and then just behind there, you can kind of see the fabric in there. So just a nice little touch, something probably no one will ever notice, but I will, and that's all that counts, right? So, while this, I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit longer. We'll put that aside. This small little panel is done as well, so we'll put that aside. Next, what we have to do is this one right here. So, basically, it's time to paint. Same principle as before. We just want to take our time, have our workspace nice and clean as well. Make sure this is nice and clean. First coat I just do it like, so it's like 50% opacity, so you can kind of see the old color still through it. I like to leave that for a little while, probably like 45 minutes or something, and then continue with the coats after that for like every 5 minutes. It's a little bit darker in here because I shut the garage door because I don't want any wind or anything blowing in here. So yeah, let's get our paint. This guy right here, matte black. That's enough for now. It's kind of easy to get caught up in things and just keep going painting and painting when you start seeing the black, but you could just start with a very light coat first and then continue with other ones and continue to just do light coats as you go along. So now we'll wait for about 45 minutes for this one to dry, and yeah, then we can start on the other ones. The door card is pretty much done. I was gonna do another coat on it, but this is looking really good. That's 5 coats in total, so I really don't think I need to do any more. I mean, it's black, it's nice and even everywhere, there's no drips, there's no spray or anything, so yeah, really stoked with how that came out. And also, speaker cover is done as well. This little matte pocket thing is done too. So we have all of our pieces completed. So basically all there is left now is to put it all back together. This is done. That turned out really nice considering I was doing it all on camera. But yeah, put it all together now, and then we are done. Now that we've got all our tabs pushed back in, that's on there. The next step we want to do is just glue our excess fabric that we had onto the actual door piece. So let's do that. Our glue is dry, that is stuck on. So, the next step, this part here. This is the part that kind of seals against the window. If you remember, it didn't go like that. It went like this. It was put on there using staples. Now, I'm not too sure how they did this from the factory, but this is actually steel. So I'm not too sure how they got staples to go through steel. I tried everything and it just did not work. I even used like a battery powered Milwaukee stapler. Didn't work, so I came up with a new idea. So what I've done is I've just drilled a hole, if you can see that, maybe. Basically drilled a very small hole in there, and I'm just using some small M3 screws, just these ones, just to go through it. And that seems to work much better than it did before. Hold it on nice and tight. and kind of looks really neat as well, although you would never ever see it in there. But I know. So yeah, let's put these in. Basically, once I've got it in place, I've already got my pre-drilled hole here. Just get my drill. Drill through that. Blow that out. Get my little screw. Put that there. Little screwdriver. Put that through. And then little M3 nut on the other side. This is kind of fiddly. Let's see if I can do it. And kind of hard to show on camera, but hopefully you get the idea. There we go. Just get some needle nose pliers to hold this one, hold the nut. Screw that in. And there we go. One already in there. So yeah, kind of looks cool, the staples, but you'd never ever see it. But it's going to hold it on there nice and tight. And it's not going to get in the way of anything at all, as the bolt sits way back behind here in the door card. So yeah, let's do the rest of them. Well, that's it. The final door card is completed. I am more than happy with how that turned out. All the other ones are completed as well. So I'm absolutely stoked. It's always good just to do things yourself, you know, like if I was back in Australia, I probably would have paid someone to do this for me, but being here and things are so expensive and impossible to find people to help sometimes, it's great because it makes me do things myself, and that's what I did here, and I couldn't be happy with how that turned out. Yeah, like it just looks awesome. It's exactly how I wanted it. So yeah, black interior, here we come. There's a lot to go though. Yeah, I mean, I'll make videos on each thing. Basically, there's 4 main things that have to be done with the interior that are kind of the big things. One was the door cards, and that's all done now, so that's great. The other thing is the dash. I'm not 100% sure what to do with that yet, but I'll when it comes to it, I'll show you. The other thing was the rear seats. I'm not 100% sure what to do with that either. Probably end up just painting them, so I'll do a video on that. And the other one is the roof liner. Not sure what to do there either, but it's basically a case of like pulling things out, then having a look at it, which is what I did with this. Once I pulled the door cards out and I saw that you could actually take it apart and everything, I realized, hey, this is not as hard as what it seems. So yeah. But anyway, I am super happy with this. Basically the job, all in all, for one of these door cards probably took around like 4 or 5 hours. Maybe a little bit longer. It's mainly just waiting times. You know, waiting for the primer to dry, the paint to dry, and the glues and everything. But it's not a complicated job. I highly recommend you to just take it on yourself and do it. And yeah, just have fun along the way anyway. So once again, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, hit subscribe. It's helping me out. I've almost got like 100 subscribers now, so whatever. Hey, that's a win for me. But yeah, cheers guys, and I'll see you in the next video.